So that was our first point at Stamford Bridge since 2011. What's happening, guys? It's your boy TC back with another video. So today we faced Chelsea and the game went as I predicted. I assumed we'd get a draw away from this game, but my prediction was based on a 1-1 draw. But obviously we came away with the point, which was our first point at Stamford Bridge since 2011. So there was an improvement there. We haven't lost to Chelsea in the last 3 games we've faced them. So that would have been the FA Cup final, the Community Shield, as well as this particular game today. So last season, as you remember, we went to Stamford Bridge and we were thumped. We didn't come away with a point on that day. So just going straight into this review, the team selection actually surprised a few people when the actual team was announced by Arsene Wenger. So in goal, we obviously saw Petr Cech retaining his position in the league. We also had Mustafi at the back with Koscielny, and we also had Nacho Monreal resuming his centre-back roles, which I am not a big fan of, as you guys are fully aware of. At the wing-backs, we had Kolasinac. Again, normal service was resumed in that position. Hector Bellerin, again, normal service was resumed in that particular position. So in the midfield, we saw Xhaka starting with Ramsey, as predicted by many people. Up front, it was a bit of a surprise in regards to the selection of Alex Iwobi. I would say during the week when we faced Cologne, his performance wasn't that bad, but at the same time, it wasn't that great. So I'm not too sure what warranted a starting place in the team for this game for Alex Iwobi, but we found him starting and he didn't do bad at all. We had Lacazette up front as well as Danny Welbeck, who's the striker who currently is in form within the team. So we started off absolutely fine. The whole tactic, you can see how Wenger had set up the team going into this match. It was a high pressing tactic, and we didn't give Chelsea any breathing room at all. Usually Chelsea smother us. They get us against the wall pretty much instantly as we start playing. But in the first few opening minutes, we did actually absorb the pressure and we sort of stabilised and actually got into the game absolutely fine. So just revisiting going back to the team selection, a key surprise was the missing out of Alexis Sanchez. Obviously, it did improve relevant at the end of the game, even though we did come away with the point. But a lot of fans were questioning the fact that Alexis Sanchez did not start this game. He did have 90 minutes against Cologne, so my assumption is due to his exploits in the summer. He wasn't fit enough to actually undertake a full 90 minutes in this particular game. However, we did see him come on roughly about 66 minutes. He did make an appearance and he was sort of getting the ball, doing the usual stuff, and it didn't look too bad at all. So moving forward, just to look at the stats in brief, the possession throughout the game was pretty much equal. Arsenal had 49% at full time. Chelsea had 51% of the possession throughout the whole game. We had 11 shots throughout the whole game. Chelsea also took 13 shots in that duration. We had 2 shots on targets, which is a terrible conversion in my opinion. But again, it doesn't really matter anymore. We've obtained a point out of this game. In terms of the fouls, as I'd mentioned, Wenger had gone in to set up the game as a high pressing tactic, I should say. My apologies. And this is evident by the number of fouls we committed throughout the whole game. So we committed 15 fouls in total. I'm not too sure how many yellow cards we ended up picking up, but it is evident from the number of fouls that were certainly committed throughout the whole game. So going into this game, again, just touching on a few stats that I made notes of. If we had lost this game, it would have been a record that we would have been breaking in regards to the fact that it would be our 3rd loss in an away game at the start of a season. I think it was since 1964 or something like that. It was a very long time ago since we last lost our first 3 opening away games. So I'm glad that statistic wasn't fulfilled. And moving forward, my man of the match would have been Aaron Ramsey. He performed absolutely fantastically well. A lot of fans, including myself, weren't too sure about starting Ramsey due to the fact that he likes to go forward, But just before half-time, Ramsey hit the post. It was a fantastic little run. It sort of bamboozled Chelsea's defence, Azpilicueta included, and David Luiz. They didn't really know what to do with him at that point, and he got his shot away. Unfortunately, Lacazette could not tuck the rebound away. It was really, really unfortunate, and we should have won the game at least 1-0. An additional chance that we did create, it was from a set piece. Unfortunately, Mustafi was offside. He found himself clear with a clean chance to put a header away. He did the job. Unfortunately, his timing was a bit off and the goal was ruled offside. Just to touch on another player who did fantastically well, I think Hector Bellerin had another good game. So it's 2 games on the trot. He has performed fantastically well. His crossing was brilliant. His tracking back wasn't too bad at all. And he put in a good shift overall. And the next player I wanted to touch on was Danny Welbeck, who was going into this game with 3 goals in the league out of 4 games. He was the striker in form, or one of the other forwards that was in form. In turn, I can see how Wenger was thinking in regards to actually starting Welbeck than Sanchez, if it was down to the numbers themselves. And again, he didn't prove us wrong. He worked fantastically hard during the whole game. He was running into channels and he was creating opportunities and creating spaces for his teammates. So again, it was another warranted selection. But my overall opinion on this game is we showed some grit. We showed that we can go away and work as a unit and actually come out with a desirable result. I personally assumed or thought that we will be getting a draw out of this game. Based on our exploits during the week, it brought some confidence into the squad, I'd like to think, at that point. And yeah, I believe a point is a very, very fair result. Another talking point to take away from the game was the tackle on Kolasinac by David Luiz. Do you think it warranted a second yellow for him to be sent off? I think it was a horrendous tackle. Didn't get the ball. Of course, the ball was sort of in motion. He was going for the ball, but unfortunately, I personally would deem that as a dangerous tackle. So what do you guys think of that particular tackle as a talking point? But overall, I'm happy with the point. We will move on. We'll march on. My only concern after this game is we're now 6 points behind the leaders, which are the 2 teams from Manchester. Manchester United won 4-0 today, and they've been absolutely storming. But it's yet to be seen. It's a very, very long season, ladies and gentlemen. So it is yet to be seen how it's going to pan out. But we will keep going on, keep improving, and I can see slowly some confidence coming into the squad. And please do let me know your thoughts on Mesut Ozil missing out on the game. I thought we didn't miss him at all. We performed absolutely fine without him. The same applies on Thursday. We worked absolutely fine without him. Of course, he brings a lot to the table. Full stop. That's not debatable. But we can function and survive without him. That's the point I'm trying to make. So please do let me know what you think in the comments below as usual. So once again, guys, it's your boy TC from I'm Gonna Talk TV. And I'm out.